this over here.
Oh my god. What is that? Yes. So there's Sarah. Hi. It's story time. On March 14th, 13th, was it? I had to actually go to the office. I was the only person who went to the office. This was a Saturday? Question mark? Anyway, but I had to go to the office. Normally, that would be the day that I would work. But on Friday, my office said that we would not be coming to the office. And we would not be coming to the office for another month. Well, actually, at the time, it was going to be like April 6th or something like that. So not quite a month. But because Thursdays and Fridays were my days off, I wasn't there and I couldn't pick up my laptop in order to work from home. So thus, I went into the office. There was some confusion and communication issues as to where my laptop was. Wasn't in my locker. Wasn't on the desk where my manager had said it was. And there was some communication that I was supposed to meet up with somebody there. Wrong. So I got there early. 10 o'clock happened. 11 o'clock happened. Nobody's there. Again, I thought somebody was supposed to meet me and give it to me. No. Turns out it was actually at the security desk, but there was a lot of delay and back and forth. The reason why this is important is because I had to go into the office on Saturday, because of all the delays, because I brought my granny cart with me so I could get groceries in Brooklyn, because if I'm going out, I'm going to go all the way out and get my bulk refills at Pre-Cycle in Brooklyn before I was quarantined for who knows how long. By the way, guess what? It's currently May 27th? Yeah. I've since run out of those bulk supplies. Can't go back again. Anyway, rewind. So, because of all these delays, because of all these things, I finally get my laptop. And I'm taking my cart and I'm like, since I'm going to Brooklyn, I'm going to go to the G train. If I was not going to Brooklyn, I would have taken the 7 train to go home. But because I was going to Brooklyn, I walked towards the G. Since I had the cart and I was kind of jumping over the curbs with the cart, I turned around to make sure the stuff that was already in the cart wasn't messed up and that, I don't know, this cart's kind of rickety, so I didn't want to break it. But because I turned around in that moment to check on the cart is when I saw a little cat appear on a staircase at one of the buildings. I froze. And I knew instantaneously that I was going to rescue this cat and that I did not have any supplies. So, do not hand rescue cats. Don't do it. You do not know how they're going to react. You do not know what's going to happen to you. Nothing. You don't know their situation. You don't know their illness. You don't know anything like that. Do not hand rescue cats. I did. I'm okay. But, anyway, so I'm looking at this cat. This cat makes direct eye contact with me, and I'm thinking there's no way I'm going to be able to cross the street to get to this cat. I have a cart. It's going to make all kinds of noise. The cat's going to immediately run away. My battery's dying. Of course it is. But it's immediately going to run away, and that's going to be that. What a waste of time. But it made eye contact with me, and as soon as it saw me and that I was standing there looking at it, it started to meow. Not just a meow, but like a cry for help meow. Which is very different. And in that moment I was like, all right, let's go. So I started walking back to go across the street with my cart. The cat stayed there, still calling for help, still looking directly at me. The cart's making noise. I kind of dropped down the cart into the street off the curb. Still there, still good. Get across the street and get the cart up on the curb. And I'm slightly askew from the cat. So I left the cart where it was. I didn't want to get any closer with the cart. And the cat still crying for help. As it saw that I didn't have the cart anymore and was finally approaching, then it did its like sound of friendly greeting and the little arch at the back and the tail and everything. So I was like, okay, this is a friendly cat I can approach. Again, do not hand rescue cats. Don't do it. Or any animal. Don't hand rescue any animal. I noticed that there was a lot of discharge from the nose and eyes, and that they were clean but dirty because they are licking themselves and their own discharge is getting on their bodies. That told me immediately, and based on the sound of its voice, I'm not familiar with this cat, but that told me immediately that we're dealing with some kind of upper respiratory infection. The cat cannot come home with me. Which is a shame. Aesthetically, the cat would have fit right into my family of cats. The gray-white aspect. So what I did, I scooped up this. As I got closer, I realized it was actually a kitten, probably about 5-6 months old. And yeah. Anyway, scooped up the kitten. The kitten was easy to handle. Do not hand rescue cats. But the kitten was easy to handle. I'm like, how am I going to get this? Sorry about that. I had to switch over cameras. So, whatever. Where was I? Do not hand rescue cats. So what I finally did is I called an Uber, and I should have just gone to ASPCA initially, but I went to Peridot first. Social distancing was just barely starting. Literally, it was starting to become a thing that day, and it was more so of 10 or less in a situation, not distance. So when I took somehow managed to get all of my stuff to the Uber, because they were not allowed to handle anything, so I had to still hand holding a kitten to my chest. It was cold, March, whatever, and struggling to get everything into the trunk and get into the car. It was ridiculous, but whatever. Got to Peridot. There's a line out the door, not out the door, a line in front of the building, because they are only letting X amount of people in at a time. I tried to get I got in, and they freaked out immediately, and I was like, hey, I'm trying to get help for this kitten. And they were like, no, you cannot come here. Go to ASPCA. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So I called another Uber. They gave me a crate, as they saw I'm at this point struggling to hold the kitten. Not that the kitten was, again, difficult to handle. Don't hand rescue cats. But the cat was climbing on my shoulder / on top of my head, basically. Tired of me having held the cat, for X amount of time. So they gave me a soft crate to put the kitten in. Got the Uber, went to ASPCA. ASPCA has to take in animals that you bring to them. That's what they do. They have to. Luckily, because the kitten, I assume she, but I'm not sure, because the kitten was friendly and was just sweet. Didn't ask, sweet? Wow. Didn't really have any apprehension to humans or being handled, so that's wonderful. I have not heard about the kitten since. I haven't asked. A lot of things have gone down, but I did put down my name as an emergency contact, and should the health of the kitten be declining and the decision, see, I don't want to talk about this, but the decision that needed to be potentially made essentially was to be mine. They never called me, so that decision was not made. And in this case, I'm taking it as no news is good news. I would like to call and find out the situation eventually. It's just right now is not the time. I would have loved to bring the kitten into my own home, but one, Hector definitely says no, and two, Pearl would probably be even more devastated that I brought in another cat, and three, Diamond hates cats. Perry would get over it, but yeah, Diamond is not nice to strangers who are not humans. Anyway, I named the kitten Cobalt. Just because keeping up with the crystal gems and stones kind of thing. Let's see. They also agreed that there was an upper respiratory infection. A animal can heal easily from an upper respiratory infection. The problem is that it is kind of more difficult to do so in a rescue facility, because that's also often where they can pick up said respiratory infections. But it's okay. Again, no news is good news. And hopefully, since the kitten by this point would have been in their care for over 2 months, that the kitten is healthy and is adopted. So that is how I rescued a cat in a pandemic. I'm gonna put in the 2 small clips that I do have from the kitten. I did not film any of this, which is why I'm having a story time, except for when I was sitting in the ASPCA waiting room. My focus and attention needed to be on this particular kitten and for my own safety. So here you go.
Hi, baby. Yeah. I found you. Found you in Queens, huh? Yeah. You're just a little one. Just a little one.
And I hope you have a great day. Bye, everyone.